Hi, I'm Gail Thackray, and I'm an author, speaker, entrepreneur.
Well, I'm very excited to have the great JT Foxx online today. He is the number one wealth and business coach. He's probably the best speaker that you could possibly imagine, but he puts his money where his mouth is and he does real estate deals, buying and selling businesses. He has a fantastic site called Millionaireflix.com where he shares this information, and best-selling author of Millionaire Underdog, and my coach and mentor.
We always get a lot of likes when you post it. So always.
So there might be a few people on here that don't actually know you, probably not, but you want to share a little bit more about what you do?
I mean, I think you summed it up pretty good. I mean, I would say former world's number one wealth and business coach, and as you know, this industry is full of ugh. And I mean, I've always done deals. I've always done business. I have a private equity, and it just kind of focused more on doing deals. But of course, anyone who's an existing client, I'm always going to work with them. I gave all my knowledge away, all my courses for $20. And I'm just focused on doing deals, which is what I do. And I think yesterday on Instagram, I actually did it live while doing the deal so people could see. And I think this world is becoming more, don't say it, prove it, show it. And I think that's what people want. And that's why great people like you and shows like that are needed so that they can be, exposed to what the truth is about whatever it is they want to do. So.
Well, we're going to talk about charisma. You have like the amazing stage presence. You come out there and you own the audience and you magnetize people, you capture their attention. Is that something that you're born with? Is it natural? Is it something that comes like after you have success?
I think it's going to have to come success. I mean, I was kind of introvert. I had a speech impediment. It's interesting because level one of success is competence. Anything you do for the first time, like you can't have charisma when you're afraid of something or the unknown. Like day one at school, you're probably shy, or day one at work, or you're like kind of shy. I don't know. You feel out of place. So it's like going to an event where you don't know anybody, and then you go back the second time or the third time or the fifth time. Like after 5 days at work, nobody's nervous. After 5 days at school, nobody's nervous. After 5 days of being an event together, no one's nervous, because that's when the confidence comes in. And then once you have confidence, that's when success comes in. And then once you have success, that's when then you have, significance and then legacy. And you can't have legacy without significance, and you can't have success without confidence. And if you're not confident in what you do, then you can't succeed. So I think it's a wheel. And, sometimes that overconfidence hurts a lot of people, where they think they know it all now, and then the market now hits them or something else. But no, I mean, I've done this so many times when I speak to large audience with 5,000-10,000 people. It just, you do it so many times, it's very natural to me as well. So then it's just like, how do you like push further, do certain things? And because you're not worried about what you're saying, you're worried about 8 moves ahead, connecting with the audience, or doing something that nobody is doing. And that's how I'm always kind of thinking, because I know I'm able to do that. It's like, give me the ball, I know I could score. How much time, that's all relative, but I'm not afraid of taking the shot. And I think that's a big part of success. A lot of people are afraid of failing. I'm afraid of losing opportunities, not failing.
So is there any way you can fake it till you make it? Or you're saying that basically it just kind of comes as you get more confident? Or is there any tips you could say?
Well, I used to say fake it till I make it, and I got pulled over by some very successful person. He says, nobody needs to fake it. You need to act like you belong. Just be you. I think sometimes people get into a business setting, and something that's unnatural to you is they lose their aura of authenticity. So they're not authentic to who they are. And then they try to pretend who they're not. Like, I'll give you an example. So we've had John Travolta at our events. I know him. I had him twice. And, a lot of my clients got a chance to share the stage with him and get pictures with him. And I saw a few of them say, share the stage with John Travolta, my condolences. And then there's a line like, it was great talking to them backstage. No, you weren't. I was there. Like, you didn't talk to nothing, because they don't know all the nonsense I had to deal with backstage. So that's inauthentic. You know what I mean? And maybe most people don't know, but I know. And I don't know if it's a sign of disrespect or, it wasn't necessary. You already shared the stage. But what's happening right now, which is why I don't want to be the world's number one wealth coach, everyone's pushing the envelope, pushing the income, making these unrealistic claims and expectation. And all it does is it sets people up to fail.
And if you're on stage with somebody like John Travolta, I mean, does that somehow give you some kind of charisma or credibility? I mean, I know you do a lot with celebrity branding.
It gives a lot of credibility. I mean, I've had over 100 Hollywood A stars or billionaires as well. It's credibility branding. There's no doubt about that, because, you know, one person with Al Pacino, the other person does not. People will be drawn to the person with Al Pacino first, even though you have a better product. I mean, there's a lot of products that people are watching. Your product, your service is way better than your competition, but they're just branding. But branding starts, number one, with your results. And then also, as you grow, you become more successful. You sort of kind of, you know, adapt to different level. I mean, my last event, what, at 30, I don't know, you were there, 31 celebrities. I mean, my first one had none. My second one had one. So, you know, so 15 later is you progress, you adapt.
But charisma is not only like on stage. I mean, you're also very personable one-on-one, and in a business meeting with somebody. Sometimes people say charisma is not, it's more like trusting the person or liking the person. So how do you get across that in a one-on-one business meeting?
Well, I'm very good at reading body language. You know, I think that's first and foremost. And I think everyone needs three personalities, right? There's the personality on stage, which is funny, powerful, entertaining. And then there's in the business sense, which I could be very intimidated. And then there's personal, which quite normal. So what people don't understand is that, like, for example, like, you know, right now by myself, the quarantine, like, it doesn't matter to me. I mean, I've been around 10,000 people, so it doesn't, you know, where everybody wants my pictures or everyone wants something, which is fine. So I don't need, some people need people for validation. I just need to prove to myself. So here's the thing, you know, I think part of when you meet somebody, there's always something that could arise, whether it's a meeting, a deal, an opportunity. So you have to always think about what's the end result of this. Is it just chit chat, waste of time? Or I want to get together. I want to hook up with this person. I want to do business. I want to partner with this person. I want them to invest with me. So you always have to start with the end result in mind of what is your intended outcome, and lead to the conversation along with them, kind of like tango to that destination, all while being on the same page. And along the ride, you're stepping on each other's toes. You have to learn how to go back and how to, like, kind of position yourself. And that's really what it is. It's a dance to where you want it to go, but to have the other person saying, hey, this was really beneficial for me too, as opposed to a one-sided kind of thing. And so even if it's your way, I think you have to give people the impression that they have also had a say, or else they're going to feel some sort of resentment.
And so how do you get people to know that you're genuine in a meeting, to trust you? I mean, people talk about eye contact and being relatable, but I know you've mentioned sometimes people have said to you, you're too good to be true.
Well, that's because I'm still young and I've achieved a lot, but I don't hear that as much anymore. They'll say other things like, oh, you're arrogant, you're cocky. Well, if I'm talking to another successful person, it's a normal conversation. To someone who hasn't achieved it, maybe it is, I don't know. I'm starting to worry a lot less and less what people think. I always tell people what other people think about you is none of your business, because you're never going to make people happy, right? I mean, if you like the president, nothing we could tell you is going to change your mind. If you don't like the president, nothing we tell you is going to change your mind. You know, and we live in a cancel culture now that I just think you just kind of know. Sometimes you have to do business with people you don't necessarily want to. Sometimes you don't. You can fire them. So I just think the important thing is people not to try to be someone they're not. I think a lot of it, depending on if they're more successful than you, make them talk more, you know, and find out what their emotional red button. And a big mistake, people come to me or other people and say, well, I can make you more money. I'm like, I already have a lot of money. I don't need any more money. Like, that's not important to me. So, and people make assumptions, and that's part of the thing, is you need to find out what's most important to them and build around that. And that's the point. Most people say, here's my plan, here's what I want, and they don't see it from the other side. You have to be able to see the world from the other person's shoes, even though your view is right and as you want. But there's also a disparity of power. I really think people say we're all equal. I'm not equal to Elon Musk. I can't be sitting in a meeting here and somehow thinking, oh, so what? I'm who I am. Elon Musk has achieved amazing things. Same thing with Jeff Bezos. So we're not all equal, right? We're maybe born all equal, but these guys have done above and beyond to be the entrepreneur they are today.
So you're talking about sometimes you might meet people not in a business meeting, but you might meet them kind of at an event. So when you meet somebody, you're saying, you know, think about what you could offer them or what you could do. But do you meet people kind of on a networking basis and think, okay, well, maybe we could do something later and we'll just kind of be, have kind of a chat right now?
Well, yeah, I mean, first of all, it's a preliminary chat. I'd be like, hey, let's follow up. And every time you want to follow up something, number one, always get a specific time and date, because I'll call you next week. Doesn't work. Specific time and specific date. Make it seem like it's short. Let's do 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Let's see what we can do. And that way it's connecting, because you're never going to close it on the first deal regardless. So there's that step one, likability. Hey, let's talk more next Wednesday at 2 p.m. And that way there's a time and a commitment as well. And sometimes when you're doing really well, you have to know when to walk away, because then sometimes the more you say, you may talk yourself out of a deal.
What we're talking about, is it different for men and women? I mean, when you're talking about presenting yourself and having that charisma, confidence, I mean, is there anything that where a woman should be different? Could a woman be kind of overly?
I mean, women have a problem. Number one, we know how men are. And number two, sometimes other women are intimidated by other strong, confident women. So, I think women have it a lot harder. So I always said, women are better at business than men, because they have to go through a lot of things that men don't do. I think men take it for granted as well. But I think just women need to just do what is it that they do and have their own power and not worry about what a man thinks or a man's world or any of those things like that, and keep breaking glass ceilings. And, I've never cared. I just looked at everybody as equal. And I was just having a debate with somebody with everything that's going on in the world right now. And I just don't treat anybody differently. Now in the business world, I do, because that's business, right? But as human beings, I'm a big believer that I don't see skin color. I don't see religion. I see people. And that's why, and someone said to me, maybe that's the problem. You don't see it. Well, because I choose. So by the way, I can't control how other people see it, but I can control how I see it. Right. So, because that's just how I view the world. So it's a bit different.
And you talk about, I mean, I know now you're in quarantine and everything, but about dressing for success and having that appearance, is that important?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I had the power look, the power JT Foxx suit, the power JT Foxx tie, and that'll come back again. Until there's a vaccine, though, I think it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to, maybe the vaccine will be like that emotional thing that keeps people together, but gives people the confidence. But I think we're very quick to forget, 9/11, 2008. And as soon as we're back, I think people will be at first more appreciative, and then they'll go right back to their own ways. But we will forget about all this. So this is an opportunity to retool, reposition, retrench, repivot, reinnovate, learn new skills, turn your weakness to your strength, build up your confidence, and eliminate any of your fears, be more focused, be better at time management, build relational capital. Just a few things.
I think we all have a purpose, something important in life. How much do you think it's important that we have a lot of passion about what we do? Does that really kind of bring out and make you engaging?
I mean, passion oozes. I mean, people feed off enthusiasm, right? Success is contagious. Enthusiasm is contagious. If you're negative or you're down, but it's not impossible. It just makes you odd a little bit. I think just people need to be who they are and just keep pushing outside their comfort level, so that the comfort outside is not no longer scary. It becomes the norm. And then you keep pushing and pushing and pushing until you become the best version of yourself.
And I know we've kind of gone over time, but one last thing. So if we're doing this online right now, if there's a lot of kind of webinars and promoting yourself online, how is that different from being able to be face-to-face with someone or be on stage?
I mean, I would say it would be a different interview now. I mean, this is the world we live in. I'm so used to it. I've done like 4,000, it feels like, in the past 4 months. But there's a different energy. I think it's easier for people to say no online. I think it's easier I think there's more of a human connection. I think it's two video screens side by side. So it doesn't have that same magic that you can have in person, that chemistry. I know how to read that. I can read if there's chemistry. I know if it's going to work. But for a lot of people, they need that. They need that validation. They need that contact. And so I think it's becoming less emotional and more transactional on mediums like this.
And I must say, I have been on Millionaire Flix, and there is hours and hours of content. I have not even scratched the surface. I am actually amazed because there's programs on there about real estate, about marketing that go in depth, things that you would normally pay like $1,000 a course for. And I just haven't had the time to get through all of it. So
people should listen to your show. That's going to be the hit show as well. So very happy to have you on. You're amazing, and you're bringing so much of value. And if it's anything like your videos on Facebook with all the crystals, I can't imagine why it's not going to be a big hit.
Okay, thank you, JT. Love
Thank
having
you. You're amazing. Thank you. Thanks for having me on your show.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. My name is Gail Thackray, and if you'd like to learn more about me or about the show, you can go to gailthackray.com.
I'm sexy and I know it.